Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're checking out a new library from Native Instruments. I've just picked this up, it's just been released. I was a big fan of Arcus from Orchestral Tools, which is also under the Native Instruments label. I used Arcus actually in a track of mine under my Protoculture alias with Diana Miro called Seconds. The whole string section in the break is done with Arcus, and I really love Arcus just for the ease of use. You get these beautifully animated textures and sort of orchestral soundscapes with very little work. If you were doing that with sort of traditional libraries, it's a lot harder to kind of get that sort of layering and motion going on and still sound convincing. So what Sequis is it's the same sort of really high quality sound sources that you get from Orchestral Tools as most of their products are. However, this time around it's sort of focused more on rhythmical elements. There's a lot of quite percussive stuff in this, and it's also based around the same 4 layers that you can control with the mod wheel. I'm not going to get too much into the actual workings of this. We're not going to do an overview per se. We're just going to kind of play around with it and see what we can come up with. So let's dive in, we're going to check this out. Right, so here we've got Sequis from Orchestral Tools and Native Instruments loaded up in complete. And let's just take a listen to what it can do. I'll just use the complete browser to go through some of these sounds. Let's take a look. Load that up, let's take a listen. So as you can see, when you pull your mod wheel down, you go down to the first layer, you can start playing. And bring in additional layers. Let's take a listen to a few other ones. Listen to the piano polyrhythms. So right off the bat, one thing that I'm not keen on is the sustain pedal does not hold the notes at all, which is a little bit annoying. Hopefully it's something that they can fix in a update at some point. Also, I noticed there's a lot of CPU usage going on here for some reason. I believe it may be something just that's not optimized correctly in the script itself in Contact. I don't have the sort of load on my CPU from other instruments. You can see if I hold down a bunch of notes. I'll have to investigate that further, but it does sound gorgeous, and particularly when you start layering it with other sounds. Now, I don't do a whole lot of orchestral scoring work, but I love these Orchestral Tools libraries just for adding a little bit of, sort of organic feel to tracks that I'm working on. I do wish that they'd added a few more features like some of the Falcon libraries, for example, but things like an arpeggiator, I would have liked an arpeggiator mode here. But you can also just engage the ARP on the complete control and you get something similar to what I was hoping for. However, it would be nice to sort of set arpeggiators for specific layers. Take a listen to a few other ones. Some of the guitars. It's really sort of nice pulsing rhythms and stuff that you get out of this. Let's layer this up with a few other things. We're just going to find a patch that we can start with. I'm going to go to the bowed strings. We'll try that. I've also got an instance of Spitfire Audio's intimate strings loaded up here. And we're going to play around with Arcus as well. We'll check out Arcus quickly. I've got a patch loaded in from Arcus now too. And I find Arcus as well works so well with a sort of more stable string patch. So we use intimate strings and Arcus together, and you get that nice sort of washing movement from the Arcus patch. We'll put them together and take a listen. And let's bring all three of them together now. So now we've got the rhythmic element, our strings from the Spitfire library, and Arcus providing some extra texture on top. Maybe we should actually probably do something a little bit more tame for this. Let's try this harmonic shadow, and let's go. And there you have it. So just that's no key switches or anything. It's playing straight out of these 4 channels. I actually brought in a Falcon piano from the augmented piano library over here, just right at the end. Yeah, and you can just get these lush ensembles with just layering a few of these things together, and it's all just happening organically and automatically. The textures and the movement that you're getting through here. They just have such an authentic feel to them as well. Just really atmospheric and very cinematic. Really, really cool to play around. Let's take a look at a few other patches and stuff. Maybe we'll do a few different layers and things as well. One thing I did like here is the percussive stuff. Especially working on dance music, there are some great options with the shakers here. So let's just check out the percussion. And we'll go down to, let's try out Shaker Party. So if you're looking for some slightly more organic percussion, say you're working on some progressive house stuff or something like that, there's some real cool options here just to give it something a little bit more organic. Again, these are really all about injecting that sort of organic feel into tracks for me. We'll edit this a little bit. So this is the sequencer menu. You can disable these if you want. You can also set these to loop. So you'll see if we have that one set to loop now. So we've actually got 3 bars or 3 sections of 4 playing there. We can set these to reverse too. So it's really quick and easy to get pretty cool rhythmic patterns going there. And again, we are layering things so we can tweak these patterns slightly. If you double click one of these, you can add in an accent there. So we'll just bring in that accented shaker now. And if you just look on the left hand side, you can see where your mod wheel is taking you as well. Let's bring in something a little bit different here. It's also really cool to bring those shakers up and just increase the intensity of shakers in a sort of drum pattern as well. I would have also liked to have been able to edit some of the sounds a little bit more. There's not much that you can do in the way of changing envelopes or pitch or anything. But in Arcus, you do have a few options, like you can raise up the pitch of one of the layers, for instance. Just to try out some different sort of sound design stuff. Yeah, you've also got some controls for attack and decay and so forth, as well as some modulation. It would have been cool to see some of that in this, but I think it accomplishes what it sets out to do. Let's take a look at a few other things. We'll go through some different categories with these. Let's check. Let's take a look at this. We've looked at the bowed instruments. We did 1 or 2 guitars. Let's take a look at some of the effect stuff. There's a vocal patch. So this one is set to poly notes actually. I was wondering why that wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. You'll see each note's triggering one of the layers rather than the mod wheel doing it. Let's see, it's just triggering the one. Now the second note that we play. Third note. So that's a little bit closer to the sort of arpeggiator that I was wanting. And we can still put our ARP into that as well. We'll see what we get here. Electric guitar pattern. That's super nice then. So that's pretty cool. I can get the sustain pedal to work when using the ARP. It's not always ideal, but it is holding those notes out for me, so I can kind of get an idea of when I'm editing these sounds. I can just hold those down, play a chord, and there we go. Let's head over to my effects page quickly. Let's bring in Guitar Rig 6. We can just take a listen to what this sounds like with some sort of quite heavy processing on top of it. Cool, so aside from just the usual orchestral and sort of acoustic stuff, you can get some pretty interesting sound design stuff as well by running this through different effects and so forth. So anyways, I think this is just a brief look at some of the stuff that you can do with Sequis. I'm going to get back to playing around with this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I shall see you soon right here at Marula Music. Cheers.